Recently, my dog died. Um, yeah, I feel really weird about this, making a video. Um, it really doesn't seem normal to do this, but a part of me just has to do it. I have to tell someone, I have to tell people, I have to get that out. But really what I want to talk about is depression and your mental well-being during this time of grief. And this isn't a video just about my dog dying, although that has really impacted my life in ways that I had no idea it would. This is more than that. This is about grief. This is about the people we lose in our lives that mean so much to us, and it's about how we act in these times of losing them. How do we get through that? And I've been thinking about this a lot, because everywhere you go in the space that you live, they aren't there anymore. It's like you're walking through memories, and you can never fully interact with those memories. It's like they're still there in some weird way. I suppose that's one way of looking at it, but it's not for everyone. That's painful, that experience, and like I woke up this morning wanting to play with my dog and expecting her to, wake me up to go out for the toilet or to get some food, and then, putting her food out and taking her a walk, and every time I open the kitchen door, or maybe she's opened it and she's looking for some food, it's these things that we miss so much. And even if you go like a walk somewhere outside or such, and or you go to a certain place where there's the beach or the park, or playing a certain game or listening to a certain song, it's the constant reminder that they're absent, that they're not there. It's the laugh you get from the joy of it, and then the sadness that comes when they're not there, when you realise they're not there. It's like a stone in your shoe. If we focus more on the depression of that, and I've experienced a lot of death. I've experienced a lot of hardships in my life of being homeless a couple times, and a few times, and just seen really horrendous things, lived in really bad conditions. Lives, like, times have been tough for me, and that little dog, she seemed to take up so much of that space. And I find that when I wake up these days, I just don't want to really live without her. Even though I've been through this storm, this monsoon of pain in my life already, and I know what to do when I get super depressed or when these things happen. I managed to trudge on, no matter who I've lost in my life, friends, family members, objects that I used to love. I've learned to let go really well, and let this be a lesson to you all that, you think you've got it, you think you're on that surfboard, and you're riding that wave, but then that wave is just too strong one day and you're going to get knocked off. It's inevitable. You're always going to go and get pushed back down, even if you're the best at what you do. There's always going to be a yin to the yang, like it's never just the one thing. It's never so simple. But that doesn't mean that you stop trying to ride that wave. And I think that's a little bit about being human. It says a lot about us being human. It says a lot about the human condition. How much can you persevere? How much can you weather the elements? How hard will you fall? And how will you get back up? Similar to Rocky there. I mean, that's that thing. That film's got a good lesson in it as well. You have to roll with the punches. Like, as hard as it is. And even though every day I sit and I'll be honest, I'm crying and I'm in tons of pain and my routine's messed up and I just don't have my best friend. And I wasn't ready for it, even though I knew it was coming. I was not. I'm never going to be. You're never going to be ready for that wave when it knocks you over, and it will hit you hard, and you will go under. And I'm still under the waves right now. I've just been floating about, sunken. But I hope that I get through this. I hope I do see the more positive outcome, and I've persevered enough to know that I can do this. It's just, it's a lot. It is a lot. This isn't some bullshit video where I list off points and I give solutions and such. I'm just here to ponder it like anyone else can, and I'm just here to discuss that. I'm just trying my best to try to understand and accept the inevitability of death more and more. It's still hard, but I understand it's a part of life. Before Suki died, I remember going a walk with her. It was a really nice day, but I came across this animal, and the animal was hurt. It was a rabbit, and it had been attacked by a dog, or maybe a fox, but there were dogs in the area, so I'd suspected it was them, and it had a punctured back, and I just knew that this rabbit was at death's door, and I thought I could at least make something of this, not make something of it, but I could at least spend time with the being and make sure that he's not alone. But then I thought, why do I suspect this being is afraid to die? Why do I think? I mean, I guess it's a natural response. But maybe it's only me that sees it so darkly. I still spent time with that rabbit, and that also reminds me of a bird that I found. This bird that was I think it was a blackbird, and it was stuck in these bushes, and it was screaming, and just like the rabbit, it was screaming for help, but it had a broken hip, and so I tried to take some plants and t-shirts and put it in a box and then take it to the vets. But that little guy had to be put down, and I just feel like I've had so much experience of death and seeing people die and seeing animals die, and it is something that I feel like we've distanced ourselves from as a species. Like some of us, at least in our society, our Western society, we've disassociated with that whole animals dying, and so I feel like I'm used to seeing the death, that it's got me to a point where I'm pondering it a lot more and more these days. I'm writing a book, and that's the main theme, is death, and I feel like I'm on a path to understanding it more and more, and hopefully for those who are in deep pain right now, that you can look at death with more of an open mind, because I'm trying to, as much as I miss and I want to see my dog Suki again. Suki's her name. It means to love. It's Japanese. Because I love her. She loved a lot. She loved life. Even up until her last days, she was running about, and You know, even though she had the disease that she had, she was still so active and happy and loving life, and everything was good. And even though that she's not here, I'm gonna try and keep living, not for myself, I realised. And now this is the kicker. This is the part that, stops you from slitting your wrists and becoming suicidal. You know, some of you may have family members or people you know, or someone that you walk by in the street, or someone you've talked to online before. We've all at least got something that we can communicate with, Maybe even just a bird that you feed at the park or from your window, or fuck beings, fuck, yeah, animals with legs. What about trees, what if there's trees that you like to look after, and, what if there's, fuck man, what if you have a garden, what if you've got all these things, what if there's video games you like playing, and, you've got to see what happens in the new fucking, the Batman movie or some shit, you got to see when that next episode's out or some crap like that, there's that book that you want to read, there's always something. So live for those things, live for others, live for the ones that love you. And if you don't have those that love you, then live for that which living's all about, I suppose. Which are the things that you enjoy and the things that make it. And that's a really hard thing to hear, like when you're depressed and like you're actually like, especially if you're a lot younger and it's more new to you. I don't know if that's the correct way to phrase that. But if you're a lot younger and a lot more naive, even though you've been wakened to a lot of the darkness in the world, that clouds your judgment at a very young age, and you might try to do all those things. I mean, that can happen at an older age as well. It just really depends on who you are as a person. I don't want to judge, like, we're all different. We all go through different sort of processes of the mind, and we're always different, we're always changing. And that's another thing as well, this whole experience, every experience of death, it's a change. But, this is autumn time. This is being filmed in, and the leaves are going to change, the plants are going to change, like, everything's going to fall, and then frost, and the snow will come, and then the spring comes back around, and life comes back, and everything is, death is just, like, it's supposed to be how it is, it's how we change, it's how everything changes, nothing can stay there forever, and that is heartbreaking. I just wanted to add that, we resist change a lot, throughout our lives, everyone does it, we resist a lot, and obviously with resistance comes its setbacks, its negative effects on us. The more we resist, the less we change, and so if we have this constant fear of death, it's going to always linger on us. And I suppose it's just, it's a part of being human. We have to learn to navigate that. But I think one of the first steps is to stop resisting that change that comes. The earth doesn't resist it. It lets the leaves fall off the trees. It lets the colours change. It lets everything just develop and evolve. And that's what change is. It's not about becoming something, I guess, completely different, but it's about evolving, It's about transformation. Like a caterpillar into a butterfly, And I feel like this grieving period is that chrysalis for that caterpillar to turn into a butterfly. I know that's sounds very cheap and corny, but it's true. It's true. And it shows how impermanent we are, but it is what it is. I don't know. I don't feel like I'm helping really anyone else, I suppose. I suppose I'm just trying to make myself feel better by talking this out, by getting it through, and I'm starting to rant now, so I don't think I want to continue this anymore, this video. Maybe I'll do another one talking about how I feel again, because I'm alone and my girlfriend's at work and I don't know what to do with myself. So yeah, I think that's it. I think that's me done.